Audible, clear?
Yes, Vikas.
Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, Vikas.
Okay, fine. So please open your Jmeter application. Open your Jmeter, and I have opened on my side. Let me open the document as well. So I think in yesterday class we were discussing about the assertion. I think so. Okay, so in last class we will discuss about I think assertion. What was the last topic we have discussed in the last class? Anyone has remember the last topic? Yeah, I think listener is done, ramp up is done, sampler, listener. In this listener we have discussed 4 to 5 listener, and then the medium percentile is done. Percentile is done. I think we were discussing the assertion, right? The response assertion, duration assertion, size assertion, and
Yes.
HTML, right? Okay. So let's move further. There are multiple assertion as well. Okay. So right now we are not going to discuss that all the things. If you go here, you can see there are multiple assertions out there, right? So the things which we use frequently, that is response and the duration, right? And these two are majorly used, and for the XML and HTML, and we have XPath assertion, bin cell assertion, right? So XPath assertion basically, to fetch the data, to verify the data actually. So that thing we will discuss in the coming classes, not now. Okay. So right now we can only understand the response assertion, and where is the duration assertion, and size assertion, and HTML, XML assertion, and we have bin cell also, XPath also. So we will discuss this thing later on. Okay, because we will not more focus on the functionality testing, we will more focus on the performance testing. Okay, but I will explain you how you can in some of the case where you need that. Okay, now we are going to discuss one very important concept which is very important, that is the controller. Okay, so let's discuss about the controller. Okay, what did you mean by the controller? So I have opened the test plan, and let me add the thread group. Let me again add which one, sampler HTTP request. Now the listener, let me add the listener, view result tree, and let me add one more listener, summary report. Let me add one more listener. The listener is nothing more the result graph in the form of tree table. Okay, let me add view result in table. I have added 4 listener. Okay, when you right click on the thread group, here you can see one option, the logic controller. Here you can see there are multiple logic controller which are listed here. Logic controller. Okay, let's try to understand what do you mean by the controller. Controller means simple and clear. Simple and clear. Controller is just like a folder. Just like a folder where you have to store your request, but each folder having the different functionality, different behavior. That's why you can see it here at the screen. You have the different controllers are there, like if controller, transaction, loop, while, for each, include, interleave, only once only controller, random controller, random order controller, random controller, runtime, simple, throughput, module, switch controller. Okay, so we have multiple controllers. So That's why in the beginning of the class, I told you if you are not very good in the coding, that's okay. Still, you can be a very good performance tester. But you have to, instead of coding here, you have to understand the controller, not controller, the element which are used in the Jmeter, If you understand the element, then you are the very good performance tester. Okay, so let's try to add, understand the controller. What did you mean by the controller? Okay, let me last time call everyone. And guys who has not made the payment, again requesting you, please do the payment today. Still some of the person has not make the payment, please make the payment. Okay, I have provided you the sufficient time and today is the 11th. So today is the last day, guys. You can do the payment. I have to, otherwise I have to remove from your group. And today I will also filter out the group who is not interested. Okay. Okay, let's go here and try to understand the controller, simple concept. Okay. Logic controller determine the order in which user is executed, right? The controller helps you to control the flow, the order of the processing, Let's try to understand, different type of the controller. Then you can easily understand what, what I was, explaining about the logic controller. Okay, let's understand the simple controller. Here, if you go to the thread group level, and here you can see logic controller, simple controller is there. Simple controller means simple. That's it. Simple controller is only just like a folder where you can store your request. Nothing special behavior of that. Nothing any powerful behavior. It is just like a folder. Nothing any other special power. The Superman power. Nothing any special power have. The simple controller is just like a folder. And in like, if you go to our local machine, here you can see there are multiple directories, folders are there. So inside the folder, what you are doing? You are storing the, whatever the files, related files are there, right? Same thing here. The simple controller is just like a folder where we are storing the request. Where we are, writing the logic. That's it. Okay, so let's try to understand. Okay, so let me open the Chrome browser. And let's suppose the client has given you one application to do the performance testing. Okay, let's suppose Jetpat store. They have given you one application. Sorry, sir. Anyone having query? Trying to say something? Okay. Okay, so this is your application. In this application, you click on the, enter the URL, and you want to do the performance testing of this particular application, right? You have the fish. If you click on the fish, you have the product name. Inside the product name, you have the, items ID and the product ID, the description. It is the large fish or, the price of the fish, right? There are two types of the fish, the large engine fish and the small engine fish. If you click on the items ID, you can see it here, the detail, the engine fish, the dollar, right? And it is the salt water fish from the Australia. Okay, if you click on add, right, You can see the, add to cart page, the proceed to checkout. Here you can see the list of price, the total cost in dollar, right? If you click on proceed to checkout, here I have to log in because I have to purchase anything and you have to log in. Okay, so let's suppose you want to do the performance testing of this particular application. Okay, so you open the application, right? You want to record the the request. The first thing I have told you, manually you can record. Again, I'm explaining you how you can manually record. Go to open the application, go to network section, right? Let's suppose you click on the URL. You hit the URL, right? You hit the URL and it displays the home page, right? And here, if you go to the network section, this particular request is that, right? This is the URL which calling to the server. Okay, so I will create one simple controller. Here you can give the name. What I'm trying to do. Let's suppose I'm trying to, I want to test the fish functionality, the fish flow, to select the product ID, select the item, to add to cart and proceed to checkout, right, and verify the detail. All the scenario I want to, do the performance testing for this particular module. Okay, so what I am doing here, can I give the name as a fish item, right? Fish item. Okay, I'm giving the name as a fish item, right? The folder name. Let me save this particular request. I will go and save it. So I will give the name like per test 1. Okay, I have given the name as a perf test 1. I save the GMX file. Now you have to map this thing into your Jmeter, right? So right click on the sample controller, go to the sample and add the HTTP request. The protocol is HTTP request. Here you can see HTTP request protocol. Okay, how you can map? Here you have to pass the server name, path, and the port number, right? So I will copy this thing, copy the value, and will go here and paste it here, right? Now remove the protocol and I can pass the protocol in the protocol section. Okay, like that, and use the resource from here to here in the path, right? And check what method it is using, get method, right? So you have to select the method as get, right? Now guys, tell me what exactly this scenario is doing. Can I say when I click on this particular URL, like it is the home page or dashboard page? Can I say? Right?
Yes.
Right. Give the request name as a home page, so that easily recall the things, right? And let me move it here actually at the top level. Okay, let me move it here, right? Let me delete this request, right? We have created one simple controller. Inside the simple controller, I have added the request, and the request is to click on the home page. Right now, I'm adding one more request, HTTP request, and I click on the fish item. Let me clear this thing. The circle cross icon. Click on that. It will clear your network section, and then click on the fish. Click on the fish. When I click on the fish, the page it connect with the server and it will display the data accordingly, right? You can see the product ID and the name. The angelfish is there, tiger shark, koi, goldfish is there, and the product ID of each fish, right? Now this is your second request. Can I say this is your second action which you are doing? Agree? Right, guys?
Yes.
Right? Now you have to map this thing into the Jmeter. You have to find the things which are the server related call. So you can see this one is the server related call. Now I am asking you one basic question to you. Okay, after this, not now. This is the server related, like perk pet store octoperk.com, and you can see it here. Let me copy and pass it here. Right now, let me remove the protocol from here to here. Remove the protocol from here to here. Right now, pass the query here. Right, the pass you have passed like that, right? Your resource, right? Clear? Now tell me how I can use this query parameter. This is the resource, but after the question mark, this is the query parameter. How you can map it?
In this parameter, we have to click on add and add.
Yeah, in the param, give me a second. Okay, now what you have to do in add parameter. Okay, or otherwise I can do the one thing. Here is the view resource, and if you click on copy and here add to clipboard, it will get added inside the parameter section, and it will display here. Right now I don't have to mention that thing here. Right,
Vikas, can you repeat once again how?
okay, so what I did here, this is the call, when I click on the fish, right? This is the request, right? In the general, you can see the URL. If you go to the request header at the bottom here, you can see the query string parameter, because you can see they are using the query parameter, right? I told you in the beginning of the class, when you are seeing the question mark, that means that is the query parameter. Agree?
Yes, yes.
Agree? Now,
Yes.
if you go to the bottom here, you can see the query parameter, right? So either you can manually map, either you can copy it, control select and copy it and go here and add from clipboard. It will get added. Simple. Okay, let me delete. Okay, now you don't have to mention here the query parameter. Either you can, if you are not using the parameter, you can also pass it here. No worry, it will not give you anything error. But it's better to specify the things in their position. Pass the protocol here, base URL here, resource here, query parameter in the parameter section. This
So
is the ideal
Vikas,
way to do that. Yes, sir.
this action you have added in the base parameter, that can also be
Yeah,
added in the here in the resource, because the base URL is petstore.octoper.com. That's it, and the action will come down, right?
oh. Yeah, exactly. Let me again copy by mistake. Actually, yeah, up to action. Okay, let me take the action. Okay, and pass it. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so your second request is done. Now you can see what is the get, because you are not creating data. Are you creating any data? You are finding the things, right? So that's why you can see the get method is there, right? Now you can see, now tell me the name, what name I can put it here for this particular things, for this action. for this request?
Fish details.
Can I say the product ID detail?
Fish product ID details.
Or item, or you can see this ID. Okay, right? Now what you can do, go to add the another sampler, that is request, and add. Click on the fish item. Click on the fish item. I click on the fish item. Now this is the third action I have did, right? I click on the product ID and the fish item will, this particular page get generated, right? Where you can see for that particular product ID, there are two items are there. Sorry, two items are there, and large fish, small fish, right? The product ID is EST1 and EST2. Both are same price. Okay, so this is the request, right? So I can copy, right, and we'll go here, right, and map it here, right? And let me remove the protocol.
Yeah, so sorry for interruption, because actually the doubt is like you're showing in a network thing, but top header Chrome text box also we are receiving those things only, because like HTTPS bit store, we can use those things, or we have to use in network thing only.
No, you have to use the network things only.
No, because same thing we are it is displayed in browser window now, because like
Browser URL.
Yeah, browser URL, exactly.
This
Chrome
one.
URL.
Okay, yeah, the same thing actually, it's also display here. So it's better, you will, better to take it from here actually. Somewhere you will not get the same thing, but almost 90%, even more than that, you will get the same thing actually. The URL which you get it here, and the same it is here also. But the others details are also there, right? So you can get it by the network only. So if you close this thing, you can only get the URL from here. Any other thing, can you get it?
No.
The header and the method and the, what the things, other things you can't get it from here. The request body, right? So for that, you have to use the network section. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, network section headers. Okay.
Headers you have to use. If you go to the preview, you can see this particular things are displayed here, right?
Yeah.
If you go to the response, you can see the response. It is in the form of HTML. That HTML is displayed here. The designer will design. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I go and copy this thing, copy value, and I have pasted here, right? Now I have to map this thing. So let me Control X and Control V, right? And there is query parameter as well. So what I can do, view here, and what is the query parameter? View product. Okay. So let me copy the view product. To apply the load, that is not very tough part, guys. It is very simple. Anyone can do it, right? The tough part is how you are mapping the things. That is the tough part. Right, how you have to, if I told you go and run for the 100 user at the interval of 10 or 20, right, whatever the scenario, you can easily go and do. But the things is how you are mapping the things. That is the very important. That you have to understand. The designing section you have to understand. The component you have to understand. The performance testing is not a rocket science. It's very easy, but you have to understand the mapping concept. If you understand the mapping concept, then you are, you will kill the client. Okay, you can do anything, guys. So you have to understand the mapping concept. The load is not that much of important. You can apply the load. Anyone can apply the load. The things is to design the stuff. That's why I'm explaining you from the basic level, right? How you can design the things, how you can, create the request, how you can pass the body protocol query parameter, how you can pass the thing in the dynamic way. Okay. So view product, right? This is your query parameter, right? So I will go and add it here, the view parameter, view product, right? Product, view product, right? And the value is blank, so leave it as a blank. And the second one is, so if you want to use the multiple query parameter, you can see AND operator is there, right? So I will go here and add it here, right? And what is the value? I clicked on the product ID F1SW01, right? So I will pass that thing. Now I don't have to mention the query parameter from here. Remove that thing.
Because this special characters like question mark and the symbol we don't take.
No. The question marks indicate that you are using the query parameter, and operator indicate that you are using the you are using the what query parameter, multiple query parameter.
So
Yes.
only key values we will take while adding.
Yeah. Here only key value. Just we are doing in the Postman, sir. Okay. Okay. So you
So
can see
because
here.
one question. So what if we wanted to add the access token here?
I will come that point, sir. I will come that point. Okay. Let's try to. This is the very basic level that I will come to when I explain you the config element. We have one section, config element. In the config element, we have one component, HTTP header manager. We will use the HTTP header manager. Okay. And
Okay,
here we can add the content element and the authorization token.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much. Yep.
Yeah, because one thing.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
So we have an operator as AND operator. So how Jmeter comes to know that he has to execute this and this parameters, or if we have OR operator, then
no, we are not using the OR operator. We have only AND operator. Even if you use any tool, either Postman, either Jmeter or Load Runner or APZ, you can take any tool. We as a URL, in the URL, we are only using AND operator, not OR operator. Okay. And if you are passing anything in the parameter section and you are passing the value, so Jmeter is designed in such a way that the Apache, the company, has implemented. If you are anything you are passing in the parameter section with key and value, so they will understand that it is a parameter, it is a query parameter.
Okay.
So they will even I don't know how internally written the code. Right. And that is not our concern here, right? So the concern is like, can I use the OR operator? No, we can't use. Only we have to use AND operator. And if anything you are passing inside the parameter section, that is considered as a query param. Param with key and value if you pass. Okay. If you pass one more thing, then it will again use AND operator. When I run this request and when you check in the logs, so I will at that time I will show you how it get appended. Okay. So I will keep this thing. Okay. So now tell me what action I have did it here. I click on the product ID, items ID page. Can I say items ID? Okay. Items ID. Okay. So I have added this request right now. I have added. Now what I can do, I am clicking on the items ID. I clicked on the items ID. So before that, guys, why I am not mapping these things like CSS, GIF? Why I'm taking only this one? Tell me, guys.
Other or browser related stuff.
because it is the the CSS related. If you go and check, you can see, okay, there is not any preview here. You can see this one is because in the application there are a lot of things, lot of components and things are there, right? So you don't have to take everything. Like you can see GIF, this is the cart icon. You can see the separator icon, this is the, you can see the fish icon, right? So you have to only take the request which is calling to the server, calling to the where that is related to the data. Basically that is related to the data. So is this, if you take this call, is this related to the data? No, right? This is related to the data where you are getting the data, right? The all the this data you are getting. So you can take this call and you have the question, if I take, then what happened? Nothing will happen. It will also get executed. But why do you want to execute the unnecessary thing, the extra thing? Why the waste the time behind that? Because if you add this thing, right, if you, for the one user, I can understand it will take millisecond, but when you run for the 100 user, 1000 user, multiply that millisecond with 100, then it will increase the time or not, the duration of execution, right? Agree?
Yes.
Right? So that's why we are only considering the things which are related to the data. Okay, you can add if you want. I am not declining this thing. If you want to add this thing in your request, in your test plan, then happily you can add. Okay, but if you ask me the experience wise, I will suggest do not add. Okay, now let me map this thing. I click on the items ID, so this particular page get displayed. Add to cart, this page will get displayed, right? So let me take this particular URL. Okay, let me add one more item, one more sampler. Okay, I have added and paste it here. Now try to map. I will pass this thing as yeah, and pass it here. Okay, and then take this base URL, okay, and pass it here, right? Now you can the query parameter they have used, right? So you can add here, okay? So view items, okay, let me copy and pass it, view items, right? And the value is blank, and they have used the AND operator. Inside the AND operator they have used the key. This is known as a key, and this is as a value, key and value, key and value, key and value. Okay, so copy this thing and add, and okay, now I have added the key. Now value is est1. Okay, now remove this thing here, the query parameter. Okay, so can I give the name as a add to cart, add to cart, right? I have given. Now check the method, the post method they have, sorry, get method they have used. Okay, now I have added the 4 requests. Home page, click on the fish product ID, items ID, and then add to cart, right? So that's why naming convention is important. When you read this name, you can easily understand. Yes, sir.
In some of the requests, while adding, mapping that query parameter, I can see there is one blank row for 2. So is it by default or you have added that one?
Where, sir?
Go to the Jmeter. So in 2 requests, I can see there is blank row for the query parameter.
Here?
In Jmeter, go to the fish product details, I guess.
Here I can, okay, yeah, here, right?
Yes, yes.
For the view category, right?
Above that one, there is one blank row, right?
No. Okay, there is blank. Let me delete by mistake. Okay.
Again, there is one for the items ID.
Items ID.
Yeah, the third sample request. Under the request, go above that one.
Okay, let me delete them. It's not an issue. It will not consider actually if it is blank.
Oh,
It will take only the name which you are passing. Okay, and this blank value is clear, right? Because you
yeah.
can see the view items, it is the blank here. That's why. Okay, I save this request, right? So this is the one way actually to record the things manually. And if I do the same thing using the Chrome, I am very lazy person. I don't want to manually map the thing, because there is not only single thing, there are multiple things, man. Then I don't want to map this thing manually, right? So I can take in the last class, I think on Saturday class, I have explained you how you can record the things using the Firefox. Okay, so let's do that manually. I have mapped this thing, right? Let's do that using the test script recorder. So I will click on the test plan, go to non-test element. Non-test element, again I am explaining you. Click on the right click on the test plan and non-test element http test script recorder. Right now, right click here on the thread group. Here you can go to the logic controller. Here you will see recording controller is there. Recording controller is nothing but this is the temporary location, temporary storage, temporary folder where you can store your scenario, whatever the scenario you have recorded, right? It will get stored here. Okay, so let's suppose, so manually I have mapped the thing. It is clear? Any question?
So like here for temporary, for how much time this may retain? Like
It's up to you. If you want to clean, then you can clean.
okay, like it will not save in any local file.
That come to that point. But if you have any question related to manually,
No.
manually I have mapped. Okay, let's do it recording. So what I can do, I will open the Jmeter store. You can see it showing me the error message as the proxy error message. Oh, I'm able to get that. I'm able to open. That means I have to set the port. Okay. You can see it here. Let me open the Jmeter store again. Okay, let me open. Okay, you can see the server proxy is refusing because here in the setting part, in the network setting, here I have selected manual proxy configuration, localhost as a 8888 and select this option, right? Okay, right? Whenever, if you want any application here, it will not get open. It will show you this error message. Now, you can run any application using the Jmeter actually. So what we have to do, go to the HTTP request and start. Click on start the recording. It's taking time. Start the recording. Okay, and then go to the Firefox browser. Where is the Firefox? Yeah, here. Okay, click on that particular URL which you want. Okay, it's showing me the secure connection fail. So there is something issue with the certificate. So if you are getting this error message, secure connection fail, then you can go to the network section, and here you can go and go to the search box, and here you can type certificate and go to the view certificate, and here you can see the Jmeter root CA for recording. Delete that. delete. After deleting, export the new one. This one inside the build folder. Okay, open. View and view and view. Right, after then, okay. Right, now again start the recording. Let me clean. Here you can see whatever the browser stuff, it get recorded, right? So I don't want all the things. Clean all recording sample. Here you will get the button and you can clean it, get removed, right? Let me start the recording again. Okay, I have started the recording again. Let me go to here and again hit this URL, the Jetpack store URL. Now you can see I'm able to open. Right, now what scenario you are trying to do for the performance testing? You open the URL, you click on the fish item, you click on the product ID, you click on the items ID, right? And you, let's suppose up to here we perform. Okay, let me stop. Up to here you want to do. Okay, when I click on the stop, here you can go it here and you can see there are unnecessary stuff get recorded. Okay, what you can do, this is the temporary controller. If anyone click on the clear all, it will get all removed, right? So what I'm doing here, I'm creating one simple controller. Okay, and giving the name as a, let's suppose recorded, something like fish recorded. Okay, I'm using recorded. Okay, and here let me tell, this is the unnecessary thing, right? You don't have to take, right? This one is also unnecessary thing, you don't have to take Mozilla space. This one is also, 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 this one, yeah, this one is related to your Jetpack store. Okay, so you can move this folder here. In where is your folder? Let me check. I think here it is moved at the bottom. I can move this thing at the top. Move it at the top here. Not inside this one. Let me outside. Let me move it. Okay. Now this one is the your server related. Okay. So move this inside the fields recorded. So one is moved, right? This one is the CSS related. You don't have to take. Okay. GIF related. You don't have to take. Again GIF. Again GIF. Again GIF. Again GIF. No, Firefox. GIF. Firefox. GIF. Mozilla and browser related. Yeah, this one you have to take, right? So copy this one and move it here. Right now, this one and this one is also right. So I will move it. Move it here. Right now, take me this one. I will copy this one. Move it here. Right now you can clean this thing if you want to record any other scenario. Right, let's suppose you want to record the dog or reptiles or cat, you can do it. First you have to clean. Okay, clean. Now you can see it's blank because all the things I have moved here. Now you can see the things which we have manually mapped, we have recorded the same thing using the script recorder, using the recording controller. Okay, you can see it here. Can you see manually I have mapped this thing? You can see this thing using the script recorder. It's, you know, adding that thing in the parameter. Can you see it here? In the manually, I was manually adding the parameter, right? So is this same thing doing or not? Which we have did manually, right? Agree? You can see it here, right? You can see it here, right? So tell me guys, which one is easy for you to do that? You have the question that in the real time, which one you are using. Now you give me the answer of that question. Which one you will use?
Recording one.
Recording. Sometime we will also take off the manual. Okay. But you know, there are large scenarios which we have to record. In that case, recording controller will help you. Clear?
Yes, Vikas.
Because when you go for manual, so in that case.
Sorry, come again.
So like when we'll go for manual mapping. So,
yeah,
so you
when
said,
we
right?
go for manual, let's suppose you want to set JSON ID in the correlation, right? So in the recording controller, you can't, debug the things properly, right? Because if you go to the network section, it will also get recorded. So it's better like when you are making the correlation concept, like fetching the data and you want to use somewhere, right? So in that case, for the debug purpose, for the cross check the things, you can use the manual thing, manually map the thing. Okay, something you have the doubts and you want to cross check that thing, so in that case you can use it manually and you can cross check. Okay, now you can see it here. I have recorded, so you can see. So guys, now you can understand why I have give the name. If you read this, can you able to understand what particular request is doing, what action?
No, you need to edit.
No, right? So that's why the naming convention is very important. Whatever the action, based on that action you can give the name, the request name. Whenever every, let's suppose we have the 400 APIs requests are there and all with this name. So so tell me, it get confused or not, right? If you have 200 of API and they have not used the naming convention, when the new member, even you have added this thing 4 months back, when you look at it after 4 months after, then you are not able to understand, even you are created. Agree?
Because can't we use the transaction concept for that transaction name which you were trying while recording?
Sorry, come again, sir.
The transaction name concept while we
Yeah,
were starting the recording.
if you go here, you can see one option, transaction controller here, somewhere here. That's you are asking?
No, that is one also on the one component of that. I'm asking about that when you are clicking on that start recording, so there we can see that transaction, right, where we can name the transaction name. Click on start. So there we have the transaction.
Here you want to put. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. You want to put, yes, you can. Let's suppose what? Click on the home page. Yeah, I forget that. So basically, I'm using the Jmeter. So in Jmeter, it's easy to right. So home page, like home page, right? If you go here, and where is my Firefox? Yeah, let's suppose I'm clicking on this one.
I guess you need to change that naming scheme as well. Instead of prefix, we should have transaction.
Hi, Vikas,
But you can't change the request name. You can give the folder name only.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, got it.
If you click on the fish and click on the product ID and let me stop the execution. Let me stop the execution. If you go here, you can see.
Should we name it as home?
You can
hi,
see it
Vikas,
not.
I received the error while opening that fit store. Did not connect the potential security issue.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, I have received the error while recording that fit store URL using the Firefox. Did not.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can share your screen, guys. And one more thing, sir, those who has not make the payment today, please make the payment. Otherwise, I have to remove you from the this group actually.
Yeah, share the screen now.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
please
this,
make the payment who has not done it. Yeah. So okay, you are getting this thing. Okay, stop the recording.
yeah.
Stop the recording. Go to the setting, browser setting.
Yeah.
And go down. Go to the
Certificate?
network setting.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
network setting.
Network?
Yeah, network setting. Go down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, select the option. Always use this proxy for HTTP.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you are using protocol as a HTTP. Click on OK.
Okay. Yeah,
Click
let me
on
try.
OK.
Yeah.
Now you can try to do that. It is
Yeah,
working or
okay.
not.
Yeah, okay.
Can you try again?
Yeah.
Sir, you have to add the recording controller. You have added?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now you can hit this request.
The same issue is coming, I think so.
Same error?
Yeah. I need to restart.
Okay. Okay, give me a second. Go to the certificate. Go to again setting. Go to again setting and type certificate. Yeah, click on view certificate. Delete that certificate. Select that option. The second one.
Yeah, okay. This is.
Yeah, and delete the last option is there.
Delete.
At the bottom.
Yeah.
Delete. Now again click on import.
Yeah, I need to download that.
Go to your Jmeter file and bin folder here. Yeah. View certificate. Yeah. And okay. Now sir, give me a second. Try to open any site here. Do not start. Try to open any application in the browser, in the Firefox browser. Try to open any application here. Yeah, try to open any application.
Yeah, it's not coming, I think so.
Let me check which error you are getting.
Yeah.
Okay, which error you are getting? Proxy error. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. That indicate that the things are configured correctly. Now you can go and go to the Jmeter again and start the recording.
The same issue is coming.
Can you again hit? Did not connect, potential security issue.
Computer clock.
Can you
Okay.
go
I
down?
think that is the computer.
Yeah.
They are asking some computer clock. The make sure that set correct time, date time.
Okay, you can change the time. Otherwise, you can close the Firefox and reopen. Okay, and do that and change the time. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And let me know if it is again issue.
Yeah. Okay.
But the things are set up correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me share my.
Yeah, I will stop the screen after sharing. After that, I will check and investigate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here you can see recording. Let me clean. So here you can see I have added the the controller here. That controller name is simple controller. Simple controller means simple controller. Just add the request. Nothing powerful functionality. It's just like ordinary man. Okay, so just a simple folder, right? So if you executing, let me disable this thing because the same request we are using, right? So right click here and disable. Here you will get the option disable. So it will not get executed. Okay. So I am executing only the custom one for the two user. For the two user. Okay. Let me execute. Clear this thing and execute. You can see it get executed. Right? Simple controller, just like a simple controller, nothing special power, you know, it just like categorize the thing. We can use the simple controller. Right? If you add all the things inside the thread group, let's suppose 200 requests are there. If you not specify the things, right? Let's suppose guys, let's suppose this is my directory, right? This is my directory. Okay, this is my directory, right? So in that directory, if I not use the folder and paste all the file here, then what happen? Then it will, you know, khichdi ho jayega yaar. Matlab all the thing, it's like the very weird thing, right? If you not categorize the thing, right? So that's why we are using the controller concept. Okay, so that we can specify the things and we can add the request inside that particular controller. Okay, now if you go to the view result tree, if you go here in the request, can you see it here, the query parameter get appended? The one person asked me the question like how, you know, get, you know, appended, right? So here you can see it get appended here as a query parameter. I have not added even question mark and operator. So if anything you have added as a parameter, it will get append in the URL. Clear, sir? Clear? Now here you can see the definition of that. I don't believe on the definition. For the interview purpose, I have written here, simple controller is just a container for a user request. It does not provide any customization, randomization, or change of loop. Any does not having the extra feature. It's just like a container where we can store the request. Store the request. Okay. Now we have one more controller. The controller name is recording controller. So which I have already explained you. The recording controller. Recording controller is a placeholder where the proxy server can be recorded. Where the proxy server is recorded. Right? So it is just like you can see it here. The flow of that. Jmeter record the things, right? And we are doing the user activity. What we are doing in Jmeter, first we record the script, right? Script is recording, right? The same thing. Script is recorded. Then we are doing the action, right? You know, whatever the scenario you want to add, you are doing the user action. The same thing here, user activity. Then it is stored inside the recording controller. Right? So you can see it here, recording controller. Okay, let's try to understand.
Because yeah, what is that proxy server recording?
Proxy server recording means anything, any action you are doing through the browser, that is known as a proxy server. If anything you are recording through the browser, any application you are hitting on the browser, that is and the request is correcting, that is known as a proxy. That is known as a proxy. Okay. So here now let's try to understand the module controller, which is very, very important. Which is very, very important. Okay, let's try to understand. What did you mean by the module controller? Okay. I don't want to read the definition. Let's understand the things, because I don't believe on the theoretical section. Okay, let's try to do that. Okay, can I give the name as a simple controller so that you have, or I can add it here, something like that, so that you will understand easily. Simple controller. Okay, right? Now, what did you mean by the module controller? Module controller, even I forget. Okay, let's try to do that. Module controller. What I can do, I will open one notepad. Guys, you are using one application. Application name is Jmeter store or any application which you are using in your project. Okay, this is your project, right? In this project, you have to purchase the any items you want to purchase, any item you want to purchase. Okay, any item you want to purchase. Okay, now, so tell me, you want to purchase anything. First, what action you have to do? You have to click on sign in, and then select that particular product, or the scenario which you want to execute. Let's suppose scenario 1 you want to execute, right? You want to perform whatever the action, like to purchase the item, to return the things, to purchase the dogs, reptiles, whatever you want to do. After that, what you are doing, when you complete your action, you are doing the logout. Are you doing the same thing in your project or not? Agree?
Yes.
Okay, so let's suppose what you are doing, you are again signing, and scenario 2, right? Logout. You are performing different scenario, right? Then scenario 3 and logout, right? Then scenario 4 and the logout, and scenario 5 and logout. Okay, okay. Now let's try to implement this thing here in that pedestal. Okay, let's try to implement here. Okay, so what I can do here, to log in, I have to register actually. So let me register. Let me go here and register. Let me register. Okay, put the name, like I'm giving the Jmeter new password and giving the password. Okay, let me save it somewhere. I'm registered. I'm creating the sign in and sign out. Okay, okay, first name, for right, I have entered the detail. It was already there, that's why it get passed it. Okay, don't worry. Pass the first name, last name, email ID. I don't want to use the valid one. Okay, phone number, address, right? And then create the account, save. Okay, and then sign in and enter the credential here, Jmeter store. Okay, pass the password here and login. Right? You register and you get the username and the password and you sign in. Right? Now let me sign out. Right? Let me sign in. So what I'm doing here, let me pass the password. The first user, I click on the face, I click on this particular product ID and sign out. This is my one scenario. Try to understand here what scenario flow is here. Okay. And second scenario, we completed the first one. Okay. Now the second one. Work and pass the password and in the second scenario, I want the dogs. I click on the bulldog or poodle or Dalmatian, right? You can see here the type. You click on and you click on the items ID and you check the detail and then sign out. Okay, so this is your second scenario, right? Now, third scenario, sign in, right? And enter the password and log in. And click on the reptiles, click on the reptiles product and items, okay, and sign out. Right? This is your third scenario. Similarly, you have fourth and fifth. Clear? Right? Now, the thing is you have to implement this thing into your Jmeter. You want to do the performance testing in Jmeter, right? So how you can do that? Okay, let's try to do that. I will create one folder, simple folder, logic, simple folder. Okay, give the name as a scenario 1. Scenario 1. Okay, I have given the name as a scenario 1. Let's move it here. I moved it here, right? What I can do, I can sample manually. I'm trying to map. You can also use the recorder, okay, to record the stuff. If you want to use the recorder, let's do that. No problem. So it will be easy for me actually. So, okay, so I will use the recorder and let me come to this particular part and make this scenario ready. Okay, the URL is ready to hit. Right now, go here and start the recording. Okay, Firefox. Okay, now hit this URL. Now sign in page is there, right? So my first scenario, first step, not scenario, first step, sign in, enter the detail, and what is my password? Let me copy that password and paste it here, login. Right now, the scenario is click on the fish item. Click on the sign out. Okay, so one scenario get completed, right? Stop the execution. Right? So when you go here, it get recorded. Right? Now you can filter out the thing. So it is related, right? So move this thing here. So it was home page, right? Home page, right? And this one is the GIF related. I don't want. This one is the sign in. You can see the sign in one, right? So move this thing here. Okay, sign in. Okay, now the third one. This one is yeah. After signing, I was clicking on the enter the username and the password and click on the login. So this one is the click on the login request, right? You can see the username and the password. Can you see it here? right? So I will move this thing here, right? And move this thing here, put the name as what name I can put it here? Something like sign in page. Here we can put it as a sign in page, and here we can give the name this one as a click on something like, or enter the credential, something like click on sign in. Okay, right? Now the third one. The third one is home page will get displayed, right? This is the home page. After clicking on the sign in, the login, sign in page, sorry, the home page get displayed, right? So this one was before sign in and this one was after sign in, right? So you can move this here. If you don't want to use this one, then remove it. Only put it one request because both are same. Okay. So put this as a home page. Home. Right now, this one is one, right? Here we are clicking on the fish item, right? So I will move it here inside this particular scenario and give the name as a fish item. Fish. Okay, I click on the fish. Okay, now after that I clicking on the sign out. You can see the sign off. Can you see it here? Sign off, right? So I will move this folder here and give the name as a sign out, right? Sign out or log out. Okay, sign out. You can give, right? Now after sign out, home page again will get displayed, the after before login home page. So it's up to you. You want to, because we already have the same request and URL here, so that's why we are not using. Okay, so clear this thing. So your first scenario is ready. Agree? Right? Now let's create one more folder, sample, simple sample, where it is. Okay, logic controller now, simple controller. Okay, let's suppose this one is scenario 2. Scenario 2. Okay, scenario 2. What we can do in the scenario 2? Okay, so this is the before logout page, right? This one page, right? So I will again start the recording. Go here, move this thing here first. Right now, start the recording and clear first and start the recording. Right, go to the Firefox and sign in. Enter the username and what is the password? Okay, let me copy the password. Right, clear? Now the scenario is click on the docs and then the product ID and then like sign out. Okay, let me stop the execution. I stop the recording and then you can see it here. Your scenario 2 is get recorded, right? So what you are doing here? Okay, this call is very it's similar which we have recorded here, the home page one, right? So I can make the duplicate and use it here. Right now this thing is done, and here you can see the sign in page, right? The sign in form. Okay, so this thing we are already using here, right? The sign in page, right? This one. So I can make this duplicate and paste, move it here, right? Let me move it top, right? Clear? Now the third one. Here you are clicking on the docs item. Okay, so I will move this request here, right? Now give the name as a docs. Okay, now here you can see category ID is doc. Okay, when you go here and check it, clicking on the product ID, right? So you can move this request here. Okay, and let's suppose docs product ID, you can give it docs ID. Okay, now you again click on the logout. I think, where is the logout? Yeah, sign off. Okay, so this call is same which we have added, so we can duplicate and move it here. Okay, now scenario 2 is done. Let me clear. Scenario 2 is done, scenario 1 is done, right? Let me again do it for the third one. Logic controller and simple controller and add it here. Let me take, what is the third one I want to, let's suppose scenario 2. Okay, now you are moving this thing here, right? Now can I use the same call here, or only instead of category ID I can change here as a reptile? Is that fine? I don't want to again record because the same thing, right? Can I do that? Right, so I can move this thing here. Let me again duplicate. Oh, I don't want to remove, duplicate. Okay, now the home page, let me again duplicate and move it here. Now the docs. Okay, let me duplicate and move it here. So instead of doc, if I pass it here, reptile, REPTILES. Okay, REPTILES. Okay, now save it. So I can give the name, I can reptile. Okay, now the sign out. Okay, duplicate. Right, so like that you can add scenario 4 and scenario 5. Up to here clear, sir? Everyone clear? What the things I have explained you here, I'm trying to implement. Up to here clear? Similarly, you can add scenario 4, 5, 6, whatever. Clear? Any question up to here?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, now tell me what is the weird thing here?
We are logging and log off from that for application repeatedly.
So in every scenario, we are using the login request and logout request and the home pages also, right? Is multiple times repeated, right? Correct. So
Yes.
it only increasing the number of count of the request. Agree? So that is not the smart work. Okay. So what you can do, go to the thread group level. We can take the help of ModuleController. Module, guys, no one can explain you like that in very detail. Even into the Google, you will only see that ModuleController and the definition. Okay, so if you go to the ModuleController, right here, you will see whatever the controller I have added, it will get displayed here. Okay, so as a prerequisite, as a, what are the common steps are there? The sign in page and the logout. In every request, sign in page and logout, sign in page and the logout. Okay, so what I can do, I will go to the ModuleController and let me move these things up here. Let me here at the here I have moved this thing up. Okay, so what I can do inside the module controller, I can create one simple controller. Give me a second. Okay, sorry, my bad. You have to create one simple controller. Let's suppose I'm creating one simple controller. Give the name as a simple controller login. Sign in. Leave the game as a sign in. Sign in. Okay. Sign in action. Something you can give it. Sign in action. Okay. Move this here. Right. Now I can move this sign in page in here. Okay. And then click on the sign in. Right, and then home page will get displayed after clicking on the sign in. Agree guys? Sign in page and then click on the sign in and the home page, right?
Yes.
Right, so this 3 step I have added. Now create one more controller, logic controller, and simple controller, and log out. Okay, log out, and then move it here, and then move the sign out here, right? And what you are doing here, remove all the things, delete, which you have added, delete, because it's duplicacy. Let me delete, and I will explain you how you can use it. Remove. Now can you see you decrease the length? Can you see it here? You decreases too much, right? Now what you can do here, go to the module controller, and wherever there is the common step, right click here, like scenario 1, right click here, go to the logic controller, go to the module controller, select the module controller, and what action you want to do. Before, guys, tell me if you want to click on the fish, right? First you have to log in. Agree?
Yes.
Right, so what I'm doing here, I'm adding one module controller, I'm adding the module controller, and I am selecting the sign in action. Select the sign in action. So this will indicate that when the execution come to scenario 1 folder, it will execute sign in action and then fish. So let me move it up. So in which sequence it will add it, the same sequence will get executed. That's why I have moved up. Okay, so I have added module controller here, module controller, and selected the sign in. Now let me give the name here like sign in. Okay, sign in and home page. Okay, now let me add one more module controller, and select sign out, log out. Okay, give the name as log out. So tell me, so it will first sign in and execute the sign in action. What are the calls in the sign in? Sign in page will display, and sign in page, and click on the sign in and then enter the credential, then home page will get displayed. Then your fish item will get clicked and then log out. And then log out, right? So similarly, what you can do, it is for the same, right? So I will copy this one, copy and paste it here. right? Paste it here now for the logout as well. Copy and paste it here, logout, right? Now let me paste for the reptile also, logout, and let me copy the sign in. Copy and paste. Now what you have to do, so guys, if you test this thing, if you if you're already testing the sign in feature in scenario 1, so is the re-execution is necessary here? Can I disable this thing? Because this particular two scenarios are already executing in scenario 1, scenario 2, and scenario 3. So is this necessary to execute this thing individually? Right? No. So that's why I have disabled this thing, because the same scenario, it's already executed here. Right? So if you go here and apply the load to, let's suppose 1, okay, 1, and let's execute, clear this thing and let me execute. Can you see? Click on the home page, then fish. Okay, so this one is executed for this one. Okay, this one get executed, this product ID. Okay, this one, home page, fish product ID. So up to add to cart here, we can consider from here, from the scenario 1. Sign in page, then click on the sign in, home page, then fish item, then sign out. Sign in page, click on sign in, home page, then docs product ID, then sign out. Then sign in page, click on the sign in, the home page, click on the reptile and sign out. Now I am done with the module controller. Any question? Here you can see, if you go to the definition, you can see it here. The goal of the module controller is as to the modality to the Jmeter. The general idea is that web application consists of a small unit of the functionality that, like log on, create account, log off. So this functionality can be stored in the simple controller as a module, right? And module controller will choose which module needs to run, right? So whatever the module you want to run, select that module, it will get executed. So module controller is used to reuse the request and reduce the number of requests. It is behave like a function actually. And the module controller, it is frequently used in the Jmeter. Frequently used as in Jmeter as a logic controller. Okay, now guys, tell me, you have any question related to the module controller? Any question? No. Clear? Now we can, I will share you this collection with you so that you have the reference, you can do the practice. Okay, don't worry. Okay, in simple concept, I have explained you in simple language, in very simple language. Okay, now we have the loop controller. Loop controller, we have the loop controller that is we are using, but not majorly. Okay, loop controller, right click here, and here you will see loop controller. So anything you want to execute n number of times, any particular scenario you want to execute n number of times, you can pass that value here. So that particular request will execute n number of times. That particular request will get executed n number of times, right? If you add 2, then it will execute 2 times. If you add 3, then it will execute 3 times. Okay, if you select infinity, then if you select infinity, then it will it will execute infinity times. It will execute for the infinity times. Okay, now let's try to do that. I'm adding one sampler, right? Let me move it from here, one sampler. Let me take it from here. Let's suppose home page, I can take it. Let's suppose I'm taking the home page. Duplicate and move this home page here in the loop controller. Okay, let me do it. And put it here inside the loop controller as a 3 times. Okay, 3 times loop controller here. Okay. What I can do, let me disable all this controller to understand the loop controller. Okay. Okay, now only loop controller will execute. Let's try to understand. Can you see it here? The number of user is 1, but your request will get executed 3 times. Because in the loop controller, you have mentioned 3. Anything you want, any request depends on the scenario. You want to request that particular things multiple times. You want to hit that particular request multiple times, right? So in that case, you can use the loop controller. If you select here infinity, let me select infinity, right? If I select infinity and run, you can see. It will not stop. Okay, generally we are not selecting. You can see 21 user, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 9, 10. You can see. Okay, let me stop. Any question regarding the loop controller?
Because like when you use a loop controller in real time, so can you give example?
So when you can use the loop controller generally, okay, you know, sometimes you want what happened, you are hitting the things multiple times, like you are clicking on the fish multiple times, and you are cross checking it not get break, or it responding in the same speed, right? I think during your testing, I think you applied, like if I click this fish item in the same speed and it display the same response or not, right? So in that case, you can use that particular loop controller. Clear? Where you think that you have to execute any particular request multiple times, put that request inside the loop controller and put the number. So that particular request will get executed that number of times. Clear, sir?
Okay.
Okay. Now we have one more controller, that is the random controller. That is the random controller. Okay. random controller. So guys, who has not make the payment, please make the payment, guys. It's means we have already taken multiple classes, and I have given you the sufficient time actually to make the payment. So again, requesting to you all, so please make the payment. Okay, so let's try to understand the random controller. What did you mean by the random controller? In random controller, what you are doing here, let me add one random controller. Okay, random controller. Okay, so this is a loop controller. Let me disable. Okay, let me add a random controller. Random controller. Okay, inside the random controller, let me add this particular request which we have added in the loop controller. This one. Okay, and let me add one more controller. Let's suppose click on the fish item, fish product ID. So let me create a duplicate one. Duplicate. I don't want to disturb that request. Let me duplicate and let me click select one docs item. Duplicate and use it. Right. Let me select one reptile one. Okay. Duplicate and pass it. Okay. Reptiles. Okay. 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 Right. Now you guys tell me the difference, the definition of loop controller. Let me delete the recording controller. Where is delete? Let me move it here. Okay, let me execute for one times and let me execute. You guys tell me the difference. Yeah, tell me, sir. The reptile get executed. Tell me. I think the random controller is clear now. If you understand why only reptile get executed.
Out of all requests, I guess it will pick only one request at a time, but order of that that one will be decided at the runtime, I guess.
Okay. So the functionality of random controller, I told you in the beginning, every controller having on behavior and the functionality. Only even simple controller also. Simple controller is also majorly we are using the simple controller, I think, in the project. Don't have any extra power. It's just like a folder, but we are frequently using simple controller. Okay. So random controller means, let's suppose you have added 4 requests here, 5 requests, 4 to 5 requests, or many more. Okay. So what happened? It will pick up any one, randomly anyone. We don't know. We don't know. So it will be decided by the Jmeter which one it will pick up. Which one it will pick up. That is the random controller, right? Now the question is what is the real-time use? How we can use this particular controller in the real time? Tell me. Any example you can give it to me, that in which case you can use it? Okay, so guys, tell me, when you are doing any payment, you are purchasing any product, right? When you are purchasing any product, what are the okay, let me do that. I don't know. Okay, let me make my trip. Okay. Not happening. Okay, so I want to book the flight from Delhi to Mumbai in the date of book now. Continue. Sorry. And from the last 5 hours I'm continuously speaking. Okay, so what we can do? No, I don't want this structure. Let me add the adults here. Okay. Okay. So, mail. What I can do? Mobile number I can put it here. The email ID I can put it here. Continue. Invalid number. Okay, give some number here. Okay. Confirm. And let me select. Okay, I have selected the seat. Now returning one is also there. Selected this one also. Now what is this one? Okay, let me continue. I don't want continue. 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 Okay, so airport drop I don't want. 2 lakhs of COVID insurance. Proceed. So guys, I reach to the payment page, right? I don't want to do the payment. Okay. So can you see it here? How many options are there to do the payment? to make the payment, how many options are there? UPI is there, credit card is there, pay later is there, net banking is there, wallet is there, EMI is there, Google Pay is there, right? So do you know which one user will select? Tell me, do you know which one user will select? Do you know?
No, they can
The
select
end
anything.
user, they can select anything, right?
Yeah. But we don't know what they are going to select. We are giving multiple options.
Yeah, so we are giving the multiples option are there, right? We don't know the exact thing what the user will select. Okay, so that is, can I say the random, it will pick anyone? Like suppose Vikas picked one UPI, Mohan picked pay later, and Suresh picks net banking, and sorry, and Priya pick the EMI, and Nitish pick Google Pay, or the same person like Vikas also pick UPI, Mohan also pick UPI, and Ramesh also pick net banking. Like that we can. That is the random one, right? Can I say? Because you don't know which one an user will pick up, right? So you can add that scenario inside the random controller. Inside the random controller, where we don't know which one user will select. Okay, let's suppose here we have the Jmeter store, and here you don't know which one user will purchase, either fish, either dogs, reptiles, cat, birds, right? We don't know the exact one what the user will purchase actually. If you know, if you have the single functionality, then it's okay. That is the different thing. Okay, but here we have the different sections are there. You don't know the exact thing what the user will select, and your client will apply the scenario like that, where you have to create the scenario, the user will select a random one, any one, and you have to do the performance testing. Okay, so what I can do it here, let's suppose inside the random, I don't want to add the home page, that is the separate fish product, dogs, and the reptile. Okay, and let me create one scenario. User click on the sign in, click on the home page, and they have selected either fish, dogs, or reptile, and then go outside. Okay, so I can, what I can use, how I can achieve this thing, I will go add a simple controller. Where is the simple controller? Okay, I have added simple controller. Inside the simple controller, I can implement ModuleController. ModuleController. Okay, where I am selecting sign in. Okay, first action is done. Okay, now in the second action, the user is clicking on the random items. Okay, where you don't know, either you can individually create for the fish. You can create for the fish. You don't know the which one user will click on, either fish, either the angelfish, tiger, or koi, or goldfish. You don't know, right? So you can create the scenario like that. Right now I'm creating the scenario for this one. It's up to you how you are implementing the things. If you want to fix the thing, if you want to fix the fish item, but inside the fish item you want to select the random one, then you have to add all the requests inside the random folder. Let's suppose you want to select this particular item. In this particular item we have further 2 products. You don't know which one user will select, right? You want to achieve this thing using the random controller, so you can add that particular request inside the random controller. Okay, so here what I'm doing, I'm adding this random controller inside the simple controller. Okay, so that first it will execute the sign in and go to the login and home page, and then user will select any of the items, and then what user will do, user will click on the logout. What is the module controller? Module controller, the logout. Where is the logout? Now you can see what is the useful of the module controller, the power of the module controller. It reduces your time. You don't have to add everywhere. Just add module controller, select that option. Okay, now you can see. Okay, now when you run, let me run this request for the 5 user. Okay, let me run. Let me run for the 5 user. Let me go to the view result tree. Let me arrange this thing in the thread. Yeah, here you can see. This is the first user, right? Sign in, click on sign in, home page. Yeah, that is the fixed one, right? And then random one, reptile, he clicked on reptile, then sign out. Then second user, sign in, click on the sign in page, enter the credential, then home page, then fish product, then sign out. Then the third user, sign in, click on the sign in, then he click on the home page, then the third person is clicking on the dog, right? And then sign out, right? Then the fourth person, sign in, click on enter the credential, home page, then fish product ID, there you can see anyone has clicked on the fish product. Yeah, second user and the fourth user, they both are clicking on the same product, and the fifth user also. So they are clicking on the random one. Agree? So you don't know which one user will click, right? So how you can use this random controller? Clear? Right? And one more thing, guys, on this Monday, I will start, I'm going the demo class of the API testing, the API manual and the automation testing using the Postman tool. So I will start the new batch of the API testing from the 13th September, the demo class morning 8:30 to 9:30. Morning 8:30 to 9:30 and half an hour for the doubt session. If you are interested, then drop the message. I will add you in the live class. Morning 8:30 to 9:30. Okay. So any question regarding the random controller?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
This random controller then can select any of the module from the module controller and it will execute it. It is like this.
Sorry, come again.
So random controller will select any of the module from the module controller and will execute.
No. Module controller, I have added separate one. This is the separate folder. Here I have added separate one. So it only select this particular request, not it will go to the module controller. The module controller is the separate from the random controller. Inside the random controller, I have only added 3 ones. So it will choose the request from these 3, not the other one.
Okay. Actually, it was signing in and doing taking any of the.
In the module controller, here you can see I have selected sign in action. If you go to the sign in action, the 3 requests I have added, sign in page, click on the home page. Okay, so that's why you can see it here in the table, sign in, click on home page. And this is the module controller, sorry, random controller.
Okay. Then after sign out again, it will go to sign in page and then.
Yeah, because I'm using the 5 user, Vikas, Rahul, Mayank, Priti, Priyanka. Okay, every user will start from the beginning. When first user will finish, then second user will again start from here.
Okay. Okay.
Clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also, guys, please, after this class, please make the payment who has not done the payment, because otherwise after this class tomorrow you will not able to continue the class. I will remove you from the batch. Okay, I have given you sufficient time. I'll listen your problem. I have given you sufficient time. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the yeah. Let's understand. Is that theoretical? I have to explain the same thing I have written here, which I have explained you. Okay, you can go through that. Now, guys, one basic question I am asking you. Which is asked in the interview. I am giving you the one user. Now, tell me the number of requests. How many number of requests will get executed? Tell me. If I execute this particular test plan for the one user, then tell me the number of requests.
5.
4, 5.
5.
Another 4. 5 requests. Okay, let's see. Total 5 requests. So first it will module controller. In the module controller, sign in action. So in the sign in I have added 3 requests, 1, 2, 3. So 3, and then from the random controller it will not execute this 3, only picked any one. So it will consider 1. So 1, that is 3 plus 1, that is 4, and the module controller, this one is log out and the 5. Clear? Sometimes they will ask you question like that. Clear? Okay. Now another question. The 2 user I am hitting. Now tell me number of requests.
10.
10 requests we have, exactly. Okay, 10 requests. Okay, now the same thing I have explained here. Okay, now the last one we can discuss, random order controller. So guys, this thing we are also using in the real time. Please keep in mind. Okay, depend on the scenario. Now the other one is random order controller. What did you mean by the random order controller? Let's try to understand what is the random order controller. You guys tell me. Let me add. Let me disable this thing. What I can do? Let me disable. Disable. Okay. I have disabled this thing. Okay, it will not get executed. I will add random order controller. Okay, random order controller, and inside that, let's suppose I am adding this 3 requests. Okay, let me duplicate. So one basic question I'm asking you, that whatever the things I'm explaining to you guys, it is simple and easy to understand online. It's clear? Any issue, like you can give me the as a feedback, sir. Means anything you are not able to understand, or I am going fast, or everyone able to understand. Tell me, guys. I'm just like you. I don't have much more experience, but I work on a lot of things. That's why I know the things. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, sir. Come again.
It's clear because there is no issue for understanding.
Okay, then. Okay, then. I mean, it's very simple language, not any complication, even in the explanation also. Okay. So let me execute this thing. I will change it here. 1. Okay, let me execute. Where is your result tree? Yeah, you can see it here. Now tell me what you have noticed here. What we have noticed here.
It is executing all requests, but order of execution is not in a sequence. It is
exactly. It executing all the things, but order is not decided. Order is not decided. It executing all scenario, but order is not decided. Correct? Clear? So let's suppose what you are doing here. You know, you are using make my trip, right? What you are doing, you click on the flight. What you are doing, you are testing the product, right? So you are clicking on the flight, the page get displayed. Then you are clicking on the hotel. You are clicking on the hotel, right? And then you are clicking on these villas, right? And then you are clicking on the holiday, and you are clicking on the cab, right? Not in the sequence. In this sequence they are added. Like you are clicking on the train. Now you are clicking on the flight, right? So are you applying such type of scenario while you are doing the manual testing?
Yes.
Right? So can I say like it executing, you are executing, you are verifying all the things, but the order is not decided. Something you are clicking on hotel here, and after then you are clicking on the train, after then you are clicking on the flight, right? So order is not decided, but you want to test all. You want to test all, right? So in that case, you can use the random controller. Okay, it will execute all, but random is not executed. If I change the number of thread here, let's suppose I change the number of thread as a 2 user, or let me change as a 3. Okay, and let me execute. If I go to the view result tree, and yeah, it is already sorted. You can see the first user dogs, reptile, and the fish. The second user start from the fish, reptiles, and the dogs, and the third user, start from the reptiles, dogs, and the fish. When we are going to the restaurant, so every person having, eating style is totally different. Some of the person start with the starter, right? And some of the person start with the dessert. Some of the person start with the dessert and end with the sweets, right? Or cold drink, right? Some of the person start with the non-veg like chicken, mutton, right? And some of the person start with the cocktail or mocktail and any drink, and then they will take the starter and then the dinner, right? So the same situation here. We don't know the order, but it will execute all. It will execute all. Now guys, I'm adding one request here. Which one? I'm adding one simple controller. Simple controller. Okay. Inside the simple controller, I'm adding one module controller, and here I am adding sign in. Okay, sign in. Now add this fish here, add this random order. Okay, now I'm adding the request sample and logic controller module. Okay, and here I'm adding logout, right? Now you are executing for the one. Now guys, tell me the total number of requests. tell me the total number of requests.
7 requests.
7.
7. So this 3, and then this 3, because it execute all, not only one, and then the logout. But in the case of random, it will execute any one randomly. Okay, so when I execute, you can see the output. You can see 7. You can see the 7. Okay, now the same thing I have explained here. Same thing I have explained here. Okay. Now we can discuss one more thing, Interleave Controller. Interleave Controller. What did you mean by the Interleave Controller?
Because can we continue?
Okay. Sorry.
Can we continue this? Can we continue this tomorrow?
Okay, no problem. I will continue. So before that, let me tell one thing. I will share this JMX file to you, how you can use that JMX file. When you save this file, right? So .jmx file will get stored, right? So when I provide you this file on the chat box in the Skype, so what you have to do, go to the file and go to the open section, wherever your file you have downloaded or you have kept up, you have to go and open that file, so it will get open. Okay, so after this class I will share you this JMX file so that you can take it as a reference. Clear? Is that fine? And we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. And guys, please make the payment who has not did. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, because
yes, sir.
I want to inquire, like Jmeter can be used with mobile applications, like for testing or performance testing. Like for mobile applications.
Yeah, you can also do that actually for the mobile application. Okay.
Actually, yeah, for interview purpose, some people ask me about Jmeter. So how to use that with mobile applications, if you could also include in any of the class.
Okay, I will also explain that thing in the class. Okay, same concept we will use there also. Little bit difference, which I will explain you.
And sir, can we?
Okay, only mapping things are different.
Okay. So, like, can we shift the timing from 12 o'clock, like you were saying? Later on, we will. Shift.
Yeah, I was saying, but that batch is still going on. Actually, it's almost 2.5 months. Actually, I have provided to that batch. It's all more than 2.5 months. It was decided to take 1.5 months, but it's gone 2.5 months, 1 month extra. So still going on actually. So still it will take a couple of weeks actually. So I don't know when, but I will update you and I will ship this time. Okay, with
yeah. Actually, after lunch, I feel a bit of sleepy this time.
So, yeah, I can understand. I can totally understand. No problem, sir. Give me a couple of more weeks and I will shift your time. If everyone agree on that, okay?
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, which file we were using for test 1? Okay, for test 1, where it is? For test 1. Where I have saved it. Let me check the path. It's saved in the D drive and software application. Software application. Where it is? Bin folder.
Sir, you will be sharing this thread group, entire thread group?
Yeah, the JMX file I will share with you. You can use that file actually. Okay. So I'm searching that file actually where it is actually.
Bin folder only.
Yeah, here it is. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, bye bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Vikas.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vikas. Bye.
Thank you.